call up such a visionary leader, someone who is constantly advocating for crisis management in our borough and throughout our city, who has done the work, and the work speaks loudly and it echoes into this borough. I want to announce and introduce the Queensborough president. You can do better than that.
Thank y'all. Does it feel good to be in the People's House? Alrighty, and it is great to be here. And first, let me thank Ludi, who's in charge of youth services at Queensborough Hall. Thank you for that nice introduction. And of course, it's Khalil Bragg who put all of this together. Thank you so much. We've been so influential in really working with all of the organizations who are here today. And of course, I want to thank everyone for joining us here at our first Queens Promotes Peace Conference here at the Helen Marshall Cultural Center. So thank you for being here. Also want to thank my colleagues who will join us, and some who have arrived already. I see we're joined by Councilmember Althea Stevens, the chair of the City Council Youth Committee, and she's the Bronx. That's right, all the way from the BS. So I want to thank you for being here and being such an advocate for the crisis management system. And I also just want to thank all of our staff who volunteered their services to make today a reality. And as most of you know, the month of June is recognized as Gun Violence Awareness Month, and it is my pleasure to honor our 6 crisis management groups for all their hard work that they do for the borough of Queens. And before I even talk about that, because violence hits very close to home for many of us in this room. I know Erica is here. We had a common family friend. Darnell Patterson was my story. That's how I got here. Darnell Patterson was shot and killed in South Jamaica in 2003 of March. And that's how I committed my life to public service. So I say that to say to our young people in this audience, it's been a long journey, and I remember, like many of you who might have encountered violence, being at his funeral and seeing him in that casket and that impact on so many of us from the block. Just seeing somebody who looked like us, who we played ball with, really had an impact on each and every one of us. So I always like to start by saying that I did not arrive in elected office coming through the shiny, fashionable way. It really, the death of Darnell really birthed life into me doing the work that I do every day. So I say that to those of you who lost violence, and I know that many of in this room have. It's about turning that pain into purpose. And that's what many of you are doing here today. So I want to thank you for being here. And for those of you who are unaware of what the crisis management system is, this process really has been in the making for a long time. You have many of the architects in this room who started this. I talked about Erica Ford for a second. And this process is taken by an organization to prepare, prevent, and respond to events that harm people in our community. Anyone can tell our youth to put guns down, but if you're not addressing the root of the problem and offering alternative resources and guidance, then those are just empty words that lead to no solutions. I want to thank the NYPD for their participation today, for all that they do to minimize and protect and serve in our borough, but I know for sure they cannot do the job alone. And our CMS groups know the streets, know the gangs, know the people, and know the proper way to de-escalate certain situations. I've seen it firsthand. I was in the backyard, I think, with Erica just 2 years ago in Springfield Gardens when there was a war breaking out on our streets. And we went to meet with some of those individuals who were involved in that war. And I've watched how CMS got a truce between those organizations to decrease the violence during that summer and mediate that issue. So I know firsthand what each and every one of you do. And the city's own data demonstrates that the crisis management system works. From 2010 to 2019, data showed that CMS has contributed to an average 40% reduction in shootings across the program's areas and a 31% increase in shootings in the 17 highest violence precincts in New York City. And as somebody who used to live State Street because I remember. And this is what the media has been talking about, right? We went over 365 days without a shooting, and there wasn't a peep from the media when those successes were happening. So we have to often, and we must often tell our stories when that success is absolutely happening. I know about those gunshots outside my window. In 2017, we saw a 15% drop in shootings after the city invested nearly $40 million into the crisis management system. The numbers don't lie, and we need to continue to support and fund all of these groups. I hope everyone has gotten a chance to go around and meet the staff of these organizations and understand the significance of the resources that are provided to our families through this. Each group that is here today are much more than just gun prevention organizations. We have Life Camp, who offers therapeutic and wellness services on top of multiple resources. We have community capacity development led by Kay Bain and Dr. Pryor, who offer youth justice and healing training. We have 100 Suits, founded by Kevin Livingston, who provides proper business attire for males and females to look presentable for job interviews. We have Rock Safe Streets, who actually I got to bring into Rockaways as a council member, who does services on mental health guidance, job training, and even assisting with school enrollments. We have the King of Kings Foundation, led by the Picado brothers, who in addition to gun prevention help with obesity, drug abuse, and disease awareness and prevention. And we also have Faith, which stands for Fathers Alive in the Hood, led by Kenny Carter. And with Father's Day just passing, we understand the lack of presence and male guidance that we lack in our community. Faith has been a mentor group to young individuals who lack that fatherly presence in their life. But please understand that while these groups differ, they are still all one and the same. They all tackle these issues that plague our communities, share similarities in the resources they provide to their respective groups. And even though today we will be honoring our CMS groups, this event is called Queens Promotes Peace. So I want to take time to acknowledge some of our other orgs who are present that do tremendous work around addressing these same issues. First, I want to shout out our special DJ on the ones and twos, Karen and the network team. Coming to Borough Hall. I know her a long time. I'm still my age. I want to recognize my longtime friend, Rosa Mason, who is the co-founder and vice president of Queens Royal People, an organization that does outstanding work in providing children with opportunities in sports, arts, and entertainment. I want to also acknowledge the Queens Defenders, who has done tremendous work. The youth court and Rockaway that come together. They've done tremendous work around criminal justice, social work, immigration, domestic violence, and cannabis awareness. And we also have two amazing domestic violence groups with us today, starting with the Violence Intervention Program. VIG provides healing, housing, and economic justice to thousands of survivors of domestic and sexual violence in New York City. Our other domestic violence groups here today is the Center for the Women of New York. If you don't know them, you should get to know them. CWNY helps uplift and raise full gender equality for women by providing services that address multiple issues that our females face on a daily basis. And last but not least, I would like to thank the NYPD and the 103rd Precinct for their attendance and all of their services that they have shared today as well. So people say we don't like the police department, we don't like bad cops, but we want to work with our department because we understand it's important in keeping our streets safe. Now, as we wrap up Gun Violence Awareness Month, it is my honor to distribute proclamations to these 6 CMS organizations that have done an exceptional job on the streets and have had a lasting impact on our borough, our city, and our country. That being said, we're going to begin. First, I'd like to call up the Life Camp. I don't do proclamations just to do them. You know, some people get them out like water. We truly do appreciate what the Life Camp has done for our borough. And I want to give y'all flowers while y'all do this good work. We don't have to wait for something bad to happen. this occasion, I offer you this proclamation for our inaugural Queens Promote Peace Conference. Thank you. We have to recognize our own. Next, we're going to recognize community capacity development. Come on up. We want to recognize you for your work to save lives in Western Queens specifically, especially. Thank you. Oh, you were just better. Next, Rock Safe Street. Amazing to watch them grow. Yeah. Amazing. Going on, buddy. All right. 1, 2, 3. And when I look at Vice, many of the groups that are coming up today, they were doing this work prior to any contracts with the city. And I remember being in a room with Viceal. Do you remember Viceal? With like 20 guys, like at midnight, before there was even a Rock Safe Streets, putting out fires on our streets. So I want to thank you. Team of King Foundation. And if you need to look, and you don't believe that it's not how you start, anyway, you look up. It's how you finish. You can look to the Furtado brothers as an example of that. Their story, if you don't know their story, you need to look at their story. But it's amazing to see them back, giving back to our community. So it's great to present the King of Kings Foundation. Todd said, but for the grace of God. Now it gives me great honor. I knew this brother when he was working at Carver Bank. And then he quit his job, and I was like, are you crazy? But it's amazing to watch how he took a leap of faith and what 100 Suits has done in our community. Now expanded up the block from my house in Laurelton and Rosedale and Springfield Gardens. And I want to credit Councilmember Savita Brooks Powers for getting you expanded into the 31st District. Now it gives me great honor to provide a proclamation to 100 Suits. When she was a baby. And I held her when she was a baby. Now it gives me great honor to present Faith, my brother Kenny Carter. These young men, the future. And this part is here too.
Alright, ready? Right here. 1, 2, 3. Alright, 1, 2, 3.
So thank you. Let's give it up for our CMS groups again. Seriously. And I'm so humble because it's important not to forget your journey. Like I started in the trenches in some form or fashion with many of y'all. To see you grow into what you've done is really a testament to who you are. So I'm just so proud to be here. Now, before we start our panel discussion, I'm going to invite my colleague up to say some words, and I want to start with our council member, Althea Stevens, once again the chair of our City Council Youth Committee, and someone who fought very hard in this budget to make sure that more money is going